This is the free online tools and success stories we're teaching in lean times. Do I need to adjust the mic or anything? You guys fine with that? I'm not seeing any frantic waving. All right, good. So we've split this into a two-part presentation. I'm Dr. Kirsty Dyer. I'll be doing the first part, and then Katie's going to take over afterwards. And this is a bit of a blitz tour. So there are lots more slides that are available in the online teaching conference website and in a few other places that I've stuck them. So if things are going a bit fast, you do have access to the slides. My interest in free online teaching tools basically we started developing a website for grief and loss issues in the late 90s. And so it was a self-funded venture, and so I've been trying to find ways to do things. Since then, I've transitioned into teaching, and I'm adjunct faculty, so that may mean something to people who are adjunct, but I was told I was teaching classes with no budget. So that's another real big incentive for learning how to find free tools. The other inspiration for this was a comment that Pat James made last year at the keynote presentation, that she missed being away from her stuff. So this is a way of hopefully providing some of that stuff that you can have when you're away at conferences and don't have your own home computer. So we're going to be looking at some tools to help people during the lean times, to allow instructors to create interesting courses on limited or reduced budgets. And with all of the recent budget cuts in California education, we're all being asked to do more with less resources to be stretching that proverbial dollar. So my objectives for this are going to learn about some of the no or low-cost tools and resources, discover many of the free online Web 2.0 tools that are available, and hopefully you'll be inspired with the seeds of thought for some of these available tools. I've included some words of wisdom. One of my other areas of expertise is grief and loss. So since we're dealing with a lot of losses, and budget losses during these lean times, you'll hopefully get some inspirational words as we're going through. As William Hazlitt said, prosperity is a great teacher, adversity a greater. So oftentimes we get pushed to discover things that we might not otherwise. And we're going to start by looking at working in the cloud, and this is a fairly new term that's out there. Cloud computing, for those who don't know, it's internet-based computing, where people can share resources and software. They're provided to computers and other sources on demand, more like a public utility. And this was an interesting illustration where you can see that all of these central resources are in one spot, and then people can collaborate together. They can share documents and files. They can communicate. They can schedule, and all of those resources are in the cloud rather than being stuck on one person's particular computer. All right, so the different applications we're going to be looking at, a section on how to do presentations, one on doing web pages, another for blogs, some for audio and visual enhancements. We're going to look at some for wikis, and then I threw in a couple of extras. And we'll take a look at these free tools. So as far as being able to create presentations, Google Presentations is a way you can do an online resource for creating presentations. There's also Open Office, Impress. Both of these are freely available. You have to download the Open Office, but you don't have to pay for them. And Prezi, I think Katie was going to be talking about Prezi a little bit later, and that's another interesting new style of tool that's out there. So with Google Presentations, it's part of Google Documents. You can allow co-presenters to organize, share, present, and collaborate on presentations with just a web browser. We were able to work on putting together some of the slides for this, from Northern California and Southern California to work on the presentation. Open Office, again, it's a free tool from Open Office. The Impress is their presentation builder, and this is available with a download from Open Office. Once you get your presentations done, trying to find places that you can store them so other people can get to them and they're not just on your computer. Several resources available. One's DocStock, one's SlideShare, one's Scribed. All of these do have a little bit of sometimes, well, different levels of annoying advertising involved with them. But they are ways, especially SlideShare, it's a way that you can upload a presentation and include it easily into a blog. As far as storage, Google Docs has 1 GB of free storage. Dropbox is another resource, has 2 gigs of free storage, and Box.net, another place with another gigabyte of storage. Okay, just some applications. This presentation is actually running right now through Google Docs. That's why it probably looks a little bit different. And we could view it together here. And I could send out this link to students or other people, and we could end up having a chat room here if we wanted to. You could do a live presentation through Google Docs. And just, let's see, I can actually, this looks really interesting because you have the view within the view. But you can see this would be the URL that you'd be sending out up at the top, and then that the click is down at the bottom. Prezi, I tried playing with Prezi a little bit and realized that at least for what I was trying to do, it probably was not going to be a good tool for me. And hopefully Katie has a better demonstration of it, but it's sort of you are doing more mapping, and I realized that I needed more wording than I needed mapping. So it didn't work for me, but I could see perhaps other applications where it might. This was a presentation that I gave. They asked me to do a NICU presentation in New York. My youngest was in the NICU for a couple of weeks after she was born, so unfortunately I'm also a surviving NICU parent. And this is, you know, I was able to create this. I could embed it in some of the blogs for the courses that I'm teaching on grief and loss. This is just example of showing, these were all the documents that I have in my Google Doc files for this presentation. That's all live, you know, within Google, so I don't have to be, if I'm working on it at home, you know, I can access it at a computer. If I'm working on it here, I can still access that same information just through Google Docs. Okay, another one of those inspirational quotes: adversity has the effect of eliciting talents which in prosperous circumstances would have lain dormant. Okay, for web pages, Composer, it was formerly New View. It's really easy to use, complete web authoring system. It's another free tool. You don't have to know a lot of HTML or web coding. Since I started off in the early days, I understand a lot of that stuff, probably more than people really want to. But it's a way of creating web pages if you need to be able to create web pages for your courses. As far as image sources, my 3 favorite places to find images: Flickr, usually looking through Creative Commons, then I don't have to worry as much about copyright issues. Of course, if you're using it for strictly educational purposes, you don't have to worry about it as much. I think it's safer to sort of use the stuff that's all copyright free, and then you don't have to worry about the hassles. Morguefile, this was a resource that was put together by, I think, children of educators. So it's free online images that are available. And Stock Exchange, another place where you can get photography. So once you have these things, what can you do with them? Well, there's several different tools that are available for adjusting your images, and you can do this online. So Resizer, PicResize, and Pixlr all allow you to either upload an image that you've had on your computer or take the direct link from the website and manipulate those images online. And then, you know, download the image and put it wherever you want to. So this is really, I've got photo capability stuff on my computer at home, which I don't have on necessarily a traveling computer, and so this has been a really good way to adjust images. Those who want something a little bit fancier, still free, Pixlr does have a second option, and this is a photo editing tools. It gives you a little bit more options to play with. There's Photoscape that you can download. Picasa is a Google application that allows you to do some crazy things with the images that you upload into Google. And then GIMP has sort of been the standard freely available photo editing tool. As far as web applications, this is a web page that I was able to put together for our academic integrity on campus using the new view, or the Composer's the new one, and then Wordle to generate the graphic. Okay, we're going to shift over and start looking at blogs. The heart of blogging is linking and commenting. Connecting and communicating is the purpose of the internet, from George Simons of Connectivism, excuse me. So blogs, they're online, chronological, stamped collection of personal commentary and links. They can be used as online journals. People can post diary entries, and they can also, students can comment on each other's posts. So you can use them in the classroom to post course announcements, share news, post related news, provide feedback to students, or you may want to create a group of blogs in the classrooms that the students can all work to create a knowledge base for the course. Several of the blogging tools available, EduBlogs. It's basically a blog hosting site that's been created for educators, and that they have you can have a group of blogs that you can manage fairly easily through them. Blogger, another Google resource where people can create blogs. It's been around for a while, so it's kind of hard to find perhaps the right URL that you may want for it. WordPress, I think they just were in the news for crashing last week. I didn't get a chance to follow up on that, but that's another way to set up blogs. Of course, Blackboard, the new version of Blackboard is supposed to have blogs embedded in it, so that would probably be the easiest thing to be doing if you guys are running on Blackboard or Moodle. So this is the EduBlog that I set up for my nutrition class, and so I'm able to, this was posting news updates. This was about bacteria in soft drinks, and so if something comes up, I can just throw it in the blog. This is one for another class, again, posting things for updates. And when we're looking at this whole situation, we're trying to figure out, is the glass half full or is it half empty? And my husband even loved the answer from Bill Cosby: it depends on whether you're pouring or drinking. Okay, so audio-visual tools. We've got YouTube, Animoto, Jing. I put in Flip mainly, just you'll see why I added in Flip. That's not a free tool, but you'll understand why I included that. And then Audacity and Vocaroo. YouTube, most people know about YouTube. Unfortunately, it's blocked at a lot of campuses, so if you want to use some of them, you may have to be doing workarounds. Animoto, they have an educational package that you can upload images, and you can add music to it, and then it creates rather interesting visual effects. Jing is a free program. You can do quick online conversations. The Flip I included more as an anecdotal description. This was my older daughter's in the 4th grade. When she was in the 2nd grade, we gave her 2nd grade teacher a Flip video camera to use in the classroom. And my younger daughter now had the same 2nd grade teacher, and the teacher had gone through and recorded, it's one push button. She was able to record all the various different things that the kids had been doing in 2nd grade. So we were able to see all these little video vignettes of the children. They have an educational discount. It's something theoretically that the kids could be doing too. I don't own stock in them. But it was really cool to see 2 years later the gift that we'd given to the class really being put to good use by the teacher, and the parents really enjoyed, and the kids enjoyed being on video too. Okay, Audacity, a free open resource that you can record and edit sounds, and Vocaroo is just free recording clips. I learned about it from Katie. She sent me messages. I had to figure it out. Okay, so I think I probably hit most of these. Jing, the limitation with Jing is it's 5 minutes. So if you have more than 5 minutes of stuff, you either have to be breaking it up or you need to find another application. Audacity, one of the instructors at the college where I'm at, he records his feedback on his English papers and then just uploads the files and then gives the student get audio feedback for his papers. And then Vocaroo, there's different applications, learning languages and letting kids hear themselves speak. So another one of those inspirational stops in great adversity is also great opportunity. And Marty was the one that sent me the quote and got me thinking I could incorporate them into the presentation. Okay, wiki, with the definition no less from probably the main wiki is the Wikipedia. Website that allows ease creation of editing of any number of interlinked web pages and a web browser using a WYSIWYG text editor. You can use it to allow students to work on one project together. With the wiki, they can all be creating the single project. With blogs, they'd be doing more single blog posts and then responding to each other. Wikis can also be used as ways to share resources with students and staff and faculty. Wiki resources, PBWorks used to be PBWiki, I think. Now they've gone to PBWorks. Wiki Spaces, whoops, sorry, I got the wrong URL in there. So Wiki Spaces is wikispaces.com. And then Google Sites is one that I've used as a wiki in another context. This was a wiki that I put together for a graduate course that I teach in bereavement to have the students create a collaborative resource for them, collecting all of their articles and links that they found during the semester. Okay, and the pessimist only sees the dark side of the clouds and mopes. Philosopher sees both sides and shrugs, and an optimist doesn't see the clouds at all because he's walking on them. Or I guess in this case, we're working in them. Okay, the free online tools, Google Sites, you can create a website as easily as editing documents. You can add in videos and text and other things. And that I ended up creating, because there's so much information, there is actually a website for the presentation, and the links will be in the online teaching website as well. So if you get to this, that's what it looks like, and all the information is in there. There's actually more information. I was able to upload videos, so if you want to find out, some of the videos on using some of the various tools, those will be in the website. And then I was able to, the documents for the presentation, my portion of the presentation, if you look in the extra section, if you look at the bottom, it's under attachments. So it was a way to be able to upload the slides for the presentation and a handout that has all the links with into the website for the presentation. The extras, I guess made the mistake of telling my colleagues about Wordle in a meeting, and then everybody was generating Wordle things. And then Zamzar is my new favorite tool because it allows me to create to swap files around. So they had sent the slides we needed to include as a PPTX. I didn't have that on the computer I was working at, so I was able to upload it into Zamzar, and it spit it back to me as a PPT, and then I was able to add it into the presentation. But this is the type of thing that you can create in Wordle. Okay, and the light at the end of the tunnel has been turned off due to budget cuts. Okay, so we're hopefully letting the free online tools help light the way through the tunnel. And I think I got through all of the objectives, and hopefully you found some words of wisdom on the way. These are the bulk of the free online web tools that I went over. There's a few extras that are in there, and there's my contact information. So hopefully you've discovered some tools and seeds of thought to inspire your teaching, and I will leave, that's going to be the survey that you need to fill out at the end. So I will turn it over to Katie. And I'm ahead of schedule.
Thank you. So how do we turn these free tools into success stories, right? I'm Katie Palacios, and I can kind of see over the podium. I'm an instructional designer here at the San Diego Community College District, and I think we all know that success when you're teaching online is, it doesn't come easy, right? It's not just one free tool, it's not just the newest and greatest technology. Success is sometimes not the first try, and sometimes it's not the first semester, right? What works on one computer won't work on another computer. What works with one student might not work with another student. Semesters change, things change. And by the way, the list of free tools that we're sharing with you today is already out of date because these new free Web 2.0 tools are coming out all the time. So how are we supposed to build success stories? How are we supposed to make it all work in our online courses when all these things are changing? And we've got this long list of free tools to work from. Well, I think there's 3 things that you can do in your online course to dramatically help the chance of success in your class. The first one is what we were doing earlier today, listening to our students. Second one, working with our students. Our students like these free tools. They know how to use the free tools. I think we can learn a lot by working with them with the free tools. And the third one is sharing ideas with our colleagues. So I want to share with you today a way that we're sharing ideas here at the San Diego Community College District. I'm going to venture away from the podium for a second. So this is our 3 Ideas program. It's a program that we've set up to collaborate and share ideas between our instructional design team here at the district and our online faculty members. So it's about the free tools, but it's not only about the free tools. It's about the online course design. It's about the course navigation, the assessments. It's about accessibility of the online course. So faculty members here at our district can sign up for 3 Ideas, and they get 3 specific ideas particular to their course that they can do to freshen up their course. And sometimes we get to put these free tools to use when and where it makes sense. So we're looking at the 3 Ideas website right now. This URL and all the stuff in my presentation is also up on the Moodle. It's up on the conference site, so you can get this remotely too. But we're looking at our 3 Ideas website, and we start with an overview of the program and give some of the ideas, kind of the stuff that we share with our online faculty members. It's not all about the tools, but it's about using what comes built into Blackboard Vista. That's the course management system that we're on here at the district. And incorporating some other pieces of pedagogy into the classes as well. We've also got out on our website some good feedback that we've gotten from faculty members already who have signed up and already participated in 3 Ideas. So we hope this kind of motivates more people to get signed up and to participate in the program. We've gotten really good feedback so far. We've only been doing 3 Ideas for, let's see, I think we started spring semester. Just this past spring semester, we've almost had 20 participants already sign up, and we've gotten overwhelmingly positive feedback, and we're not afraid to put it out on the website. So to sign up for 3 Ideas, we've got our 3 Ideas sign-up sheet, which when you click on it, you'll see is a Google Doc. So we've got one of the free tools that we're actually using, one of the free tools that Kirsty mentioned already. We make use of Google Docs and Google Forms all the time. This is one of the best ways to handle sign-ups. We've got all our faculty member will sign up by inputting their data in these fields, right? All of the data gets collected into a Google spreadsheet that then I can access and log into. All of the fields are nicely organized into columns. It makes the managing that data super, super easy. And I can set up the spreadsheet so that I get an email whenever anything is added to it. So I'm notified if someone signs up and I don't have to constantly be checking and checking and checking. So it makes this really easy. So back to the sign up. Faculty members will sign up. They can tell us what course they want us to look at, when we can look at it, and what to focus our feedback on. So here, you don't see free tools up there, right? We're focusing on the things that are important in an online class. They can tell us what area they want us to focus on or not, and we kind of just do a general look and see what we got. So that's the sign-up sheet. We've got also, so we like to show our faculty feedback and not just tell them, hey, try this, try that, try this. So in order to do that, we've set up a Blackboard Vista course for 3 Ideas. So we've got a 3 Ideas program course. When an instructor enrolls in 3 Ideas, we enroll them into this course, and it gives them access to all these ideas. We've also got a generic ID enrolled in this course, so you all can log into this course and check out the ideas in here as well. It's also posted online. So check out the ideas in here. I'm going to take us through a quick tour, and then I'll get into a couple of my favorite tools in more detail. Okay, so we start on our home page. This is our Blackboard Vista shell, and we start with a welcome message. We use Camtasia. Just a real quick welcome message. I won't play the whole thing because it's just me talking. But we tried to model good online teaching in this course shell.
Hi everybody, my name is Katie Palacios. I'm an Instructional Design Coordinator for SDCCD Online Learning Pathways. Hello. So I wanted to take a quick second to thank you for participating in this 3 Ideas program.
Okay, that's Camtasia. We use Camtasia a lot for our little videos, and it works really nicely. Embeds really nicely like that into your course shell. Students aren't going elsewhere to find the videos, it's right there. Everyone has a feedback folder. So right now, well, if a faculty member were to sign in as themselves, they'd have their own feedback in a feedback folder. And we try to do a Jing video or something a little different to give them that feedback. Free tools and success stories, that's what we're talking about today. I'll get into that in a second. But then we've also got ideas organized more by course content. So the important pieces of an online course you'll see in the table of contents over on the left. I'm still kind of building this piece out. And then we've got kind of ideas and resources for instructors for each of these things. So the course syllabus, you know, what should go into a course syllabus. We've got a link to our online syllabus checklist. We've got templates down here, different kinds of syllabus. These are fully accessible syllabi that have been created with styles in Microsoft Word. So they're fully accessible to students who are using screen readers. We've also got, Kirsty mentioned, Prezi. Just kind of to mix things up a bit, I threw in here a Prezi version of a syllabus so you can see how different it looks. Maybe this will get your students' attention. This is Prezi. It's a zooming presentation that lets you move across your content in a more spatial way. So imagine having your content of your syllabus organized like this. Prezi has some real potential, I think, to grab our students' attention and make this content a little bit more interesting. One thing that we always keep in mind with these tools is the accessibility of the tools. Let me go back. Actually, I'll get back to that in just a second. Another piece of this ideas folder is our self-introduction. So we've got, why is it important to put a self-introduction into your online class? We've got a couple of text-only kind of whatever, okay versions. Then we've got a whole collection of instructors from our district who have shared with us their own personal introductions. So instructors can go in here and say, hey, I like that one, how did they do that? Or, you know, they see it like students see it. And I think that makes a big difference when you see how easily these things can be done inside an online course. You can get in here, like I said, later on and click around and check out these intros too. let me go to our free ideas, or free tools. And here's what I wanted to mention. I always tell instructors to think about the goals of a specific learning activity first. It can be really easy to get all kind of caught up in the bells and whistles of the tools, right? Oh, cool, I can do this. Oh, wow, what can I do if I get to put my voice in my class? Well, great, but think about what the goal is of that learning activity and what it's going to do for your students first. And the other important thing is to make sure that you're using the tool in a way that complies with copyright and accessibility, right? That Prezi tool, for example, it's a Flash-based tool that might not be, the content in that Prezi might not be accessible to all the students in your class. So putting up a text-based version of that Prezi presentation, your syllabus, having a text file up there next to it is going to be really important. So that's important as you're looking through these free tools. I want to get into Jing and Jing Pro because I just love them. Okay, so Jing and Jing Pro, this is the top of the list for a reason. I love these tools, and just recently I've started getting really into it. Jing is basically a screen capture plus voiceover tool, and that means that you can be recording your screen at the same time that you're recording your voice, right? Similar to what we saw earlier in that Camtasia. But what you can do with it, there is the 5-minute limit, but I'm okay with that. 5 minutes is enough. I think you get in, you say what you need to say, and you get out, right? I think that keeps us focused and to the point. One thing with Jing is you can't add captions with Jing alone, so that's an issue. You want to try to use Jing more for your one-on-one student interactions when you know the student you're working with is not hearing impaired. What else was I going to say about Jing? I have an example of Jing so that you have an idea of what we're talking about here. And the example, so Dave, my colleague Dave Giberson, is the other instructional designer here. Hi, Dave. Also, he's the one who introduced me to Jing, so we use it a lot. And we use it to answer email a lot. Tired of writing out text messages, email. Get your Jing recording going, and it's much faster. So here's a Jing. Dave doesn't know that I'm sharing this. Here's a Jing response of Dave's to an email that he got.
Hi, Lori. I got to try downloading and installing that ODF plugin for Microsoft Office. There's the file I downloaded. I just ran the executable. It seemed to run fine, very simple install. And it seemed to work. Here's a sample ODT file, online open office text file that I got off the internet. And if I double click that, it seems to open just fine in Microsoft Office.
So we're seeing his screen, hearing his voice.
3 that it worked with, but it also seems to work with 2007. So seems like the plugin works and there was no apparent problem. It doesn't seem to cause any apparent problems. Hope that helps. Take care.
Thanks, Dave. So we got to hear Dave's voice, we got to see his screen. I'm sure Lori appreciated seeing what was going on his computer screen and not just getting that text-based message. A lot of the faculty members that we work with, we don't see them face-to-face very often. So anything that we can do to insert a little bit of ourselves into the online interaction is important. So the other cool thing that you can do with Jing, and I haven't even gotten to Jing Pro yet, the other thing you can do with Jing is create screenshots. So easy to create screenshots. Here's a screenshot. This is your login information to the to this course that we're looking at right now. If you want to get in there, that's how you're going to do it. Super easy to create screenshots, add text markup, highlight, arrows. This is a screenshot of a Google map, right? It's very easy, fast to create these images that can be embedded as part of your own content. Now, Jing Pro, what do you get with Jing Pro? $15 a year is the cost for Jing Pro, but the benefit is that you can use your webcam in addition to screen capture, and I think that makes a big difference. I like using webcam. I've gotten a little bit more comfortable with it. I think you just kind of got to get over that initial fear. Your students want to see you, just like we heard earlier this morning. Your students want to see you and they want to hear you. And it's a great, fast way of getting yourself seen and heard. And the other major benefit of Jing Pro is the videos can be uploaded directly to YouTube. It's literally a push of a button to get your videos up on YouTube where they can be captioned. Yes, good. So that's a biggie for us, and it ends up really making it quite easy to record yourself, upload your video, caption your video, and share it with your students. Let me show you an example of a Jing Pro video. This was my response to an email from a faculty member who wanted to meet me during a kind of crazy week. This is Jing Pro. I think I had just finished eating lunch.
I got your email and wanted to let you know that I'd be more than willing to assist you with your online course development. That sounds like fun. It's a little bit of a busy week for me. I can show you on my calendar. Here's this week. I do have some availability. It looks like, well, I'll be at Mesa tomorrow. And then I do have some availability at City in the afternoon. The problem is that I don't have that office to work from. So if I could meet at your office, if you've got an office there at City we could work from, I'd be more than happy to do that. But that City site R101 is actually closed. The LRC is closed on this Wednesday. The other option is Thursday morning at Miramar. Friday is pretty much out. I'm doing a morning workshop. The afternoon, I could meet with you maybe like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday. So that's what I'm thinking. The other option is that we don't have to be in the same physical room together. I could open up a chat room for us so that you're working online from your computer, working on your online course, and then if you've got a question or something comes up, you can always just text me a message, and then I can have the chat room open too, and I can be helping you kind of live, but not necessarily in person. So if you're interested in that, that probably will give us a little bit more flexibility, and I'd be willing to set that up for you. So just let me know if you're interested in that option too, okay? Hope everything's going well. Look forward to hearing from you.
So let me tell you, it was so much easier to do that web recording than it was for me to write out, okay, Monday I'm available then, Tuesday I'm available here, then, Wednesday I'm available there, not here, not then. I mean, I just pulled up my calendar and she saw my calendar, and it was very easy to respond. She saw me. It's someone who I don't see very often. And you know what she responded back to me? She says, I think I just got an email from the future. I thought, yes, no, it's not the future, it's now. You can do this, it's so easy. So she was very impressed. I like using these tools because it kind of says, hey, yeah, these things are cool, they're easy to use, and they make a difference on that side. They really do. So that's a Jing Pro. Let's see, I'll show you and it doesn't have to be a webcam, right? I'm going to show you Susheila's introduction. She actually, let's see, I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think Eileen did her course introduction. She didn't use her webcam, but she chose this area of her screen to capture. It's just a Microsoft Word document with her picture and the text. And all she's doing is she's going to read the text here. But it makes a fully accessible audio introduction. This is Professor Crakes. She's over at Mesa College.
Hello, class. I'm Professor Crakes. Welcome to this personal growth class. I am pleased that you have decided to join me in this online journey. I have been working at Mesa College since 1995 and truly enjoy the opportunity to work with students both in the counseling and online classroom environment.
So I'm going to cut off Eileen there, but you see that was just a Word document that we had chosen the specific area in which to record, so that we were recording just her photo and the text, capturing that, and then her job was just basically reading what was on the screen, so that served as the transcript afterwards. There's so much potential with Jing and Jing Pro. I just obviously love it. Let me move on to YouTube. So I have to admit, I've had a YouTube account for the past maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I created a YouTube account. When I started being able to upload directly from Jing Pro to YouTube, that's when I thought, okay, yeah, this is really cool. I can upload my videos directly, I can caption them on my own in YouTube, and suddenly they're available to everybody, everywhere. If students are going to view videos, they're going to view videos on YouTube. They know how to use that tool. You might as well put your stuff where they already are. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And now in YouTube, once you've created your YouTube account, you're actually going to see the option to record directly from your webcam inside of YouTube. So really all you need is a webcam. You'll click that link, your webcam activates, and you're recording. It's as simple as that. It's really so easy. I was surprised at how easy it was, but I've got faculty members who have done their own. Here's Don Barry. This is a great YouTube introduction. I'll get this one just started.
Well, hello, and welcome to Geology 100. I'm Don Barry. I'll be your instructor for the next 8 weeks. And I just wanted to take a few minutes at the very beginning of the course to tell you a little bit about the course itself and also about my own background. So what is geology? Well, geology is essentially the study of planet Earth with particular emphasis on the solid Earth. And mostly what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks is focusing on Earth materials, that is rocks and minerals, how they're classified, what they tell us about planet Earth, and also something about their uses in some cases. And in addition to Earth materials, we'll also focus on Earth.
Okay, so he gets more into his own kind of personal introduction later on, but he just used little call-outs for his captions in YouTube. And he did this completely on his own. This was kind of outside of 3 ideas, but I asked him if I could share it in the shell, and he was more than willing to share. So thanks, Don, for sharing that with us. But a really great way of connecting with his students at the beginning of the semester. They see him, they kind of see his environment, his personality, and feel a little bit closer to him and feel okay about learning from him. You can embed your YouTube videos directly into your Blackboard Vista shell or any course management system that uses that HTML embed code. Here's Eileen again. She got brave and did the webcam.
My name is Professor Crakes. I started working at Mesa College in 1995. Prior to that, I worked as a special education teacher and taught adapted physical education. I am married and have 2 children. Outside of teaching, I enjoy watching my daughter's softball games and hanging out with my cat Fuji. I also enjoy hanging out at the beach and going for a walk. I enjoy being a faculty member at Mesa College since I get to work with students both in the counseling and online learning environment. One of the things I enjoy about teaching online is the convenience for students in using technology to get to know them. I've learned a lot from my students each semester through their discussion board postings and written assignments. I look forward to getting to know you better and learning from you. Welcome to the class.
So, really easy way of connecting with your students there. Like I said, immediately embedded into your online course and just super easy to record. I worked with a couple instructors last week just in the building next door, in the A building here, and had them try webcam introductions. I had my webcam in my bag, which they were laughing at, hooked it up, and they were on YouTube in literally 10, 20 minutes. And they said they've already shared the link with their family and grandkids and all this stuff. So they're famous, they're on YouTube. Okay, so that's YouTube. I'm gonna move on to Vocaroo. Vocaroo, before I forget, I have to give a plug to Michelle Pacansky-Brock. I'm not sure if she's in here. I saw her earlier this morning. She was my instructor for the @ONE Building Online Community course, in which I learned about this tool. It was a couple months ago now. Really highly recommend that course. It was a great course. We saw lots of how this social media works with building community online. How these tools get us to know each other and feel comfortable in the learning environment. And it puts us in the student perspective. Say, hey, when I hear her voice, it makes me feel better about this. I feel okay. So Vocaroo is really so easy. It's just a web-based recording service to record just your voice. So there's no need to create an account. You don't have to download anything. It's literally go to a website, plug in your mic, record yourself, and you've got a link that you can either embed or link out to Vocaroo. So here's a quick little demo of Vocaroo.
So this is Vocaroo. It's a web-based recording service that doesn't require any downloads and doesn't require you to create an account. So it's a really easy way to quickly get your voice into your online course. And it's worth checking out. It's just so easy to do. Even an option perhaps for your online students. So instead of writing out their thread on the discussion boards or assignments or wherever, maybe giving students the option of submitting a voice discussion board thread to you or a voice presentation of some sort with Vocaroo. Just remember that if it's going to be, if it's a voice message that's going to become part of your permanent course content, your permanent course curriculum and instructional material, you're going to need to provide a written out text transcript so that your hearing impaired students have access to the content in the recording. Okay? But it's really worth giving it a shot. It's a free tool available at vocaroo.com.
And it embeds really nicely like that. And I should have done the whole presentation that way and just clicked on play. It embeds really cool into the HTML, anywhere that you will take HTML in your course management system. And it's just so easy to use. I mean, there's really nothing to it. I like that you don't have to download anything or create an account. There is the typed transcript thing, right? Make sure that whatever's in your audio message is also typed out so that your hearing impaired students have access to that message. But that's not hard to do if you're just doing a little announcement or something. Type it out. Sometimes it's better to have that written beforehand. So we have Eileen. Well, you know what? I'll probably move on, and that's enough about Vocaroo. But give it a shot. It's really super easy. And I sent emails this way a couple of times just so that people could hear me. And oh, cool. What's that? Try a new tool. So I'm going to talk about Twitter. So Twitter allows short communication with others, right? We've all heard tweeting and Twittering and all this stuff. Twitter really is a great tool for sharing your message with other people, but I think it's almost just as important to be informed by a whole network of people, right? You can be listening in on that network the whole time. In fact, you can follow professionals in your field on Twitter, right? I'm not super duper active on Twitter, but I do get out there and see what's going on when I can. We've got a 3 Ideas account on Twitter, so you can follow 3 Ideas on Twitter. We'll tweet when we have new tools and new ideas for the online class. So I've been probably more active on that account than I've been on my own personal account. But you can also follow hashtags. You can follow conferences using a hashtag, and that's the way that you identify a specific tweet. So let's see if I can get up, I'll go to, see if I can pull up our hashtag for this conference, and we'll see who's been tweeting. Because I know I saw some activity out there yesterday. So the hashtag that we've been using is OTC10. We'll do a search on that. And what do you know? We've got, there's Michelle. She's the instructor I told you about at 1. She's tweeting. A few people I don't know. Here's Dave. So what a great way to follow conferences. If you know, there I am. I was tweeting a little bit during our student panel. So there's a whole conversation happening out here that you can tap into and be a part of. A lot of times you'll find out, you don't have to be live at the conference, you'll find out about all the stuff that's getting shared just by knowing the hashtag and searching on Twitter and seeing what's being shared out here. So we've got a lot of people who are keeping our Twitter conversation alive for the conference. Now, in terms of use in your online class, I don't have any examples to show you here. I have a link to an article on Twitter use in higher ed, so it kind of goes through where we're at and who's using it and what they've done. I don't have any examples from our district, but I'd love to have some. If anybody has any, I'd love to add it to this. But I kind of just encourage you to kind of start listening in on Twitter, follow a couple people and see if it's something that you want to get a little bit more involved with. You'll start seeing the uses for it in your own classroom. You could have your students follow you. You could create a class hashtag where every tweet for the class gets that a similar hashtag like we have for the conference. You pull it up and you'll see all your students what they've been saying. So I think Twitter has tons of potential. Follow 3 ideas on Twitter. Google Docs. I mentioned Google Docs before, as did Kirsty. So much that you can do with Google Docs. We use it a lot at our district. In our department, we've got shared documents. We've got a distributed office, so we're in different offices, and we're able to collaborate on the same document, spreadsheet, presentation, whatever, at the same time. Google Docs is, I think, so Google Docs, Google Forms, that's the sign-up sheet that I showed you before. Again, so much potential for that sign-up situation where you're collecting a bunch of information from different people online and you need it all nicely organized into a spreadsheet in the back end. Google Docs makes it so easy. You can embed Google Docs and presentations directly into your course management system. So here we've got an embedded presentation right here. No need for the student to have PowerPoint. Don't worry about telling them to download PowerPoint Viewer. You don't have to have any kind of special file, any kind of special program. It's right here in the course for them, available wherever they want. They download it to one computer, it doesn't open on the other computer. This just makes the access to that information so much easier for your students. So I encourage you to get the presentations up online and embed it into your course if you can with things like Google Docs. We've got the presentation, here's like just a link to a calendar. You could have a calendar with, this is a spreadsheet file that I've linked to. I mean, you could have multiple tabs of this spreadsheet and share it with your students. It's actually going to make life easier for you having this stuff up. It ends up being, I know the instructors that I work with, several different classes, and you're making the same update across the board to the same file. You download it, you change it in Word, and you upload it again, and you do that for 5 sections. Well, with Google Doc, you've only got one doc. There's only one version of that file. It's just there's 5 different websites pointing to it, 5 different sections pointing to it. If you make the change in Google Docs, it's automatically done. You're not going to your Blackboard course to make that change. So you'll end up saving yourself some of that maintenance, that file maintenance stuff. And it takes up a lot of time. So that's Google Docs. I want to show you Audacity. Audacity, I like it. I liked it more before I found out about Vocaroo. I found out about Vocaroo and I'm like, okay, so Audacity is cool. We do have an instructor using Audacity, though, to give feedback to her students. It's a graphic design class. Candace Lopez here at City uses Audacity when her students submit to her a portfolio. They get back an audio MP3 file that they play, and I've got it here to show you, or for you to listen to.
Thank you so much for getting your journal into me. I'm going to make comments both on the required elements and some design suggestions because I didn't get to view your draft. I don't think I did, so I think it'll help you for part 2. Okay, taking a look at it, I'm excited to see that you get the project, you have all the required elements, and it looks really nice. It's got a good vibe to it. So looking at it, the first suggestion I would make on Victorian designs is you could create a more dynamic layout if you were to, say, edit this file down and maybe have only 3 images, but make one bigger than the other 2. Whenever you're designing, you want to create priorities. When you do that, it's like adding salsa to a dish. When things are kind of the same size, it kind of makes them more like mashed potatoes, and you want to add that salsa. So that food analogy is the best way I could describe what I'm trying to say.
I love that. I wanted to wait till we got to the mashed potatoes because I think that's so cool. So she does that for every student, and I can guarantee you that it's a lot less work than typing all that out for every student. She's got an Audacity recording. They send it, they hear it. I'm going to get her on Jing or something so that we can have the visual along with the audio, but I just love this because we hear her voice and hear her really getting into the material that she's reviewing with her students. So that's fun. Okay, and I'm going to talk really quick about Prezi because Kirsty mentioned it before. I think Prezi has so much potential. I wasn't able to put together Prezi for today, but I think it's just so much, way more fun than PowerPoint. It's got a lot, I'm going to try to give us more room here, a lot more possibilities. You can basically, with Prezi, you create that whole content map, and then you decide how you want to jump around that content, and you can give control to your students so that when they're looking at the content, they zoom out and see this whole map of material, or they're zoomed in to a particular piece. So I showed you the syllabus that's on Prezi, that sample syllabus out there, but we've also got, at our district, we've got, in our department, I've got a How Can We Help You Prezi that's out on our homepage. So this is kind of over the top with the links, but it's an example of a Prezi that we actually do use. So these are kind of all the questions that we get from students. And maybe a more interesting way of presenting them the answer. I'm just clicking forward. If I wanted to, oh, I don't have this one set up. You can decide to set it up so that I can zoom in and zoom out on my own. Looks like I didn't do that for this one. So that's Prezi. There's a lot of, oh, back to my zooming syllabus. I also in here put some other really good Prezis out there. Here's an instructor. Now these are not samples from our district, but they're ones that I found that are shareable and reusable out on Prezi. Here's an instructor who's having their students submit their presentations through Prezi. How cool for a solar system. I mean, this zooming effect. What you need to do, create a presentation. He's got the what to include. I mean, students, what gets me most excited is thinking about the possibilities that students will come up with doing this. I mean, give this as an option to your students. Don't make them use PowerPoint. Sure, let them use Prezi and see what they come up with. They'll probably come up with some amazing stuff. Just letting them get more creative with it will be fun. It does take a little while to get used to the Prezi editor because you're not used to this kind of 3D deal when you're creating, if you're used to creating PowerPoints. But so that's Prezi, and I'm gonna stop there because I want to leave a couple minutes here. We went through a lot, but that's 3 ideas. It's a shell that we're using, a course program that we're using to share ideas with faculty members. I think that's kind of what it comes down to, is collaborating and sharing ideas together. You're not always going to know exactly what to do, but if you've got resources to turn to, feel free to log into this shell with a generic login. If you're online faculty here, sign up for 3 ideas. If you're online faculty elsewhere, log in here and find out what programs are available on your campus. It's just, sometimes just a matter of picking up the phone and sharing ideas with your colleagues. So we will open it up to questions. And if you do have questions, we need to take the questions on the side mics. So Adamo, we need you on the side mic so that the audience can hear it.
Hi there. I'm Glenn Pillsbury from CSU Stanislaus. I had a question about captioning and YouTube. You kind of were very excited about that. What are the actual mechanics, though? Do you do it yourself and upload a file, or does YouTube? I know that YouTube does have an experimental tool of automatically doing it, but I don't know that it's publicly available. So what do you tell faculty in terms of captioning?
So in terms of, good question, thanks for captioning. What I've done is I listen to my video that I've uploaded to YouTube. I create a text file. Just write it out manually. Yeah, that's a time consumer, right? Is that you're writing out your own transcript. But I've uploaded it to YouTube, and the ones that I've done are automatically synced with my voice. So YouTube will do the syncing for you if you've uploaded the text file to YouTube. So that piece of it, which usually doesn't take, the syncing itself doesn't take a long time, but that piece of it is taken care of for you. So the time it takes to type out the text, that's what you're doing. You're doing that manually, yeah.
Hi, Katie. I just wanted to ask about conversion. say from PowerPoint to Google Docs or to Prezi? Is it difficult? Is it a lost cause that we have to start? Do we have to start from scratch?
Adamu, that's like a lot of appointments we're going to have to make together. No. PowerPoint to Google Docs is easy. Google will let you upload your PowerPoint presentation. You'll have a Google presentation just in the time it takes to upload it to Google. Like, that's really easy. For Prezi, you're starting from scratch, from a Prezi presentation, and seeing, because it's a different layout. You're taking something linear and you're making it more of a content map. So it kind of would take some, setting up and design. That's going to be more manual. But into Google Docs, it'll be automatic.
Okay, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've also got the discussion board open up on Moodle, in the Moodle site, so feel free to post discussion questions there. And as you see us throughout the conference, feel free to stop us and ask us questions. I'll be happy to get a little bit more hands-on with people. If you wanted to see Jing Pro to YouTube, I would be happy to show you if we get that chance. So don't hesitate to stop us. I think that's it. Thank you.